Sumeet Bagadia is now joining us. Sumit, good afternoon. Any view on Kaveri seeds? It's up 6%. Results came out an hour back. It's currently at the day's high.
Hi, good afternoon, Pankaj. Well, as far as Kaveri seed is concerned, see, overall the counter is weak. I think it has just given a pullback rally or it's a result-based rally. The overall view remains on Kaveri seed. The overall view on Kaveri seed remains weak. I think if there is any pullback rally till 420, 425 levels, I think then that should be used as a selling opportunity. Immediately, it has supported around 380 levels. As soon as 380 is taken away, we will see sell-off in the counter. So till that time 380 is not taken away, if anyone wants to play with the momentum, then 380 should be the stop loss, and immediately there is a possibility that we might see levels of around 425 or 430, but the overall view remains weak on Kaveri seed.
Right, but you would not want to be on the buying side.
Yes, absolutely. I don't want to be on the buy side in this counter because the counter is weak, and overall we have seen a correction from the levels of around 800. And from past couple of months, we have seen that the stock has been moving in a range of around 80 to 100 rupees. That means 320 on lower side to 425, 430 on higher side. I think this would again face resistance at around 425, 430 levels, and from there we will again see a selling pressure for the targets of 350 and 320 levels in next 2 to 3 months time horizon.
Right. If you would look at some of the other results reaction, Dr. Reddy's would be declaring numbers tomorrow. It's up 3% ahead of that. Is it looking strong after days? We are seeing a very good move on Dr. Reddy's.
Well, it's not looking strong, but surely we are seeing a pullback rally from lower levels. I think the strength in the counter will continue only if it is able to break and give close above 3000 levels. If you remember last week, we had given a sell call on most of the pharma stocks in which Dr. Reddy was one of the stocks in which we were expecting levels of around 2820 or 2800 levels. Now from the levels of 2800 we are seeing some pullback or bounce back, but overall the structure is looking weak. I think on higher side we will again see a selling pressure in the counter, and we will again see levels of around 28 or 2800 or 2750. So I think this pullback rally can continue till 2980 or 3000 levels, but from there we will see a sell-off. So overall view on Dr. Reddy remains weak. I think if there is a pullback rally of 40 to 50 or 60 70 points from present levels, then that should be used as a selling opportunity, and on downside we can again test levels of around 2800 levels.
India Bull Real Estate has done very well off late. It's at 83 rupees now, and I look at the last 4 days, or about 4th of May, it was at 67 rupees. From 67 to 83 in the last 5-6 days. To be precise, 4 trading days. How would you look at India Bull Real Estate?
Well, this stock has given a fantastic move. In fact, in last 7 trading sessions, we have seen that stock is moving one side up, and from the levels of 57, 58, we have seen a straight upside rally in which the stock has moved up to 82 levels. Still, the stock is looking strong. On higher side, it has resistance at around 85 or 88 levels. So I think those who have taken long at lower levels can still hold their long positions with a trailing SL to be placed at 77 rupees. Till the time 77 is not taken away, they can hold on with their existing positions for the targets of around 85 or 88 levels. Bull Real Estate will face major resistance at around 87, 88 levels. If 87, 88 is also taken away, then there is a possibility that we might see a straight upside rally till 98 or 100 levels. But immediately it will face some resistance at around 85 or 88 levels. Anyone who is taken long position at lower levels can maintain their positions with a trailing SL to be placed at 77 rupees on lower side.
Right. Havells also declares numbers this week. It's around the highs. How do you look at Havells at 350?
See, I think the stock is strong, and overall we have seen that from today, from the lower levels today, stock has given a very sharp recovery. And as far as the overall view is concerned, I think the stock is headed for 380 or 400 levels. In next couple of months, we can see levels of around 380. 350 is the 353, 354 is the final resistance in the counter. As soon as 353, 354 levels are taken away, we can see a rally of at least 8 to 10% from 353, 354 levels. I think till that time 330 is not taken away on closing basis, one can remain long in Havells for the targets of 353, and above 353 we can see levels of around 380. So the overall structure in stock looks looks good to me, and any dip in the prices should be used as buying opportunity for the targets of 353 and then 380 levels.
Right. So we'll just stay on with us. Dhampur Sugar has declared numbers. The name is down 2%, but numbers are not looking that bad. So 111 crores versus 75 crores. These are YOY comparables on a PAT basis. Total income has grown by 24% to 544. And if you look at EBITDA, that has grown by 57%. As far as EBITDA margins are concerned, there has been an increase. So it's become 27% versus 22. But the recent rally in the sugar names, I think, factors in good numbers coming in. 25 points higher for the Nifty, just about a minute or two away from closing this session. Again, it's been a good session so far. And, we've seen good gains coming in despite global cues not being that positive. Nifty is up 25 points, closer to the 7,900 odd mark. Broader markets did well today, and overall, the trajectory seems to be looking good. ICICI Bank 226, Hindalco down about 2%, Axis Bank up 2%, 487. SBI up about 0.4%, Tata Motors down 3%, Tata Steel up 0.2%, BOB up about 1.3%. ITC absolutely flat, BHEL 129, Adani Ports, it was in green yesterday but back to the red levels today. Power Grid down about 1%, NTPC up down about 1.4%, Idea absolutely flat. Tata Motors was among the top losers, 3% decline. Of course, it was led by the Tata Motors JLR retail sales that came out. Tata Motors DVR was down 2.5%, 281. For Tata Motors DVR, 1.3 million shares traded for that name. HDFC Limited was up 1%, L&T was up 2%, Bharti Airtel was up 0.6%. Of course, low volume trade, but still, when the stock moves, it really moves quite in a strength. Dr. Reddy's 3% higher. We have been focusing in on this name. Results come out tomorrow. That's Wednesday. They would be declaring their numbers. 2.5% higher. In fact, 3% towards close. Axis Bank 486, 487, 2% higher for that name. And really, that name has done very well after results, and specifically after ICICI Bank came out with the numbers. HUL, a day after results. Maybe yesterday the markets were trying to digest the numbers, but today probably you get a sense that majority of the numbers have been factored in. There were some EPS cuts, but probably people have not changed their target price much from here on. Cadila was up about 4%, 334, 335 for Cadila. 1.4 million shares traded for that name. Again, it's a company that declares numbers this week, and ahead of numbers looking in strong. InfoEdge was a mid-cap company that did well, 5.7% higher. I think InfoEdge was down yesterday when we got the news flow that they're likely to cut. Okay, it was not much. It was just about 0.8% down. But today up 5%. Redington India up 4%. We got the closing bell over there. Just Dial was down 5%, 729. 2 million shares traded for Just Dial. Muthoot Finance yesterday was among our top gainers list. Today is down 3%. Bata is down about 3.4, 3.5, 576 for Bata. Apollo Tyres, again numbers tomorrow, 3% decline, 152, 153 for Apollo Tyres. Inox Wind, third day into the results. Friday was down 20. Yesterday tried to play a catch-up, but today down. Today's listing, 11% in terms of gains. Very, very strong listing. It opened around the 215, 216 mark, but the adjusted close on your screen. From 33, it adjusted to 31.5, so that's the adjusted closing, I think, that we're getting. Thyrocare Technology was a listing yesterday, went up quite smartly, but today down about 2.5. Adani Ports was up yesterday, today slightly on the lower side. Again, this is one name that has just corrected, just gone down one way after the results have come in. Thyrocare was another name. EID Parry was up about 1.3. That's a results reaction. 233 numbers were very, very strong. Z Entertainment numbers come out today. So tomorrow will be the reaction. 418 for C Entertainment. Let's look at some other names. So Kaveri Seeds, 407, 408 in terms of closing. 5.8 as far as Kaveri Seeds is concerned. Percent higher. VIP was up 6.5, 117, 118 for VIP Limited. Let's look at VIP. Yeah, there you go, 6.5% higher. Andhra Sugar was up 6%. Again, it's a name that people had just forgotten, but it's up close to about 7.5%. Uflex up close to 7%. It's a beneficiary of lower crude oil prices, so I think that's the reason why it went up. Cosmo Films 6% higher. 397 odd levels. We were talking to Sumit. He's still with us. Sumit, what do you make of Z Entertainment? Numbers come out today post market hours. Stock has already reacted. It was up 5% yesterday.
Yes, absolutely, Pankaj. I think the stock has already reacted in. And on higher side, technically, if I see the stock is also facing resistance at around 420 to 425 levels. I think today the closing is somewhere at around 418 levels. So till that time 425 is not taken away on higher side, I think one should remain cautious on this stock, because I think it will face some resistance at around 424, 425 levels. A fresh long in the stock should be initiated only if it is able to break and give close above 425 levels. If the stock is not able to break and give close above 425, then there is a possibility that we might see some profit booking or some correction in the stock, in which it can come down till 405, 402 levels. On lower side, it has support at around 398. So the overall range for the stock should be somewhere at around somewhere between 398 to 425 on higher side. If 425 is taken away on higher side, then we will see a fresh up move in the stock, in which the stock can move up by 8 to 10%. And on downside, if the stock is able to break 398, then we will see a breakdown in the stock, in which it can move down till 380 rupees. So I think 398 and 425 should be the range in which stock should play in for next couple of days.
Right. How would you look at Jain Irrigation and Jain Irrigation DVR, Sumit?
Well, the stock is looking very good on charts. Today we have seen a very good move, but the closing is at lower levels. I was expecting closing somewhere about 68 levels. If we see a closing above 68, then we will see a good upside move in the stock. If the closing is not above 68, then we will again see a correction in the stock, in which it can move down to 64, 62 levels. So I think a closing above 68 is required in Jain Irrigation, and a consistent move above 68 for 1 or 2 days will take stock to 74 or 75 levels. But if the closing is not above 68, then we will again see a correction in the stock, in which it can go down to 62 to 63 levels. So a consistent close above 68 is required for a good upside move in the stock.
Right. Let's look at Axis Bank. Ahead of results, it went to 487 and then really never went at that level. How would you look at Axis Bank? 487, it's now looking quite good.
Yes, Pankaj, you can say that the stock is looking quite good on charts. Today also we have seen a move of around 8 to 10 rupees from low levels. I think stock was moving in a range of around 450 to 485, and today we have seen a breakout of that range. Tomorrow, if the stock is able to break the levels of 488, 490 on higher side, then there is a possibility that this time we would see a rally in Axis Bank till the levels of around 520, 525 levels. So tomorrow, if stock is able to break 490 on higher side, then we will see a good upside move of around 20 to 25 rupees from present levels. That means on higher side we can see levels of around 520 easily. So breakout above 490, traders can initiate fresh long position with a stop loss to be placed at 480 on lower side for the upside target of 520 levels.
So now if you compare it to maybe a lights of ICICI Bank, how is it looking?
When compared to ICICI, Axis Bank is looking very good. In fact, ICICI Bank is not looking that good on charts. In fact, if we see the charts of both the scripts, Axis Bank has not even given a correction, and in fact ICICI Bank has given a correction of around almost 50 rupees from higher level. That means from a high of around 260, we have seen levels of around 210, and presently the stock is quoting at around lower levels only. But in fact, if you see the Axis Bank chart, Axis Bank has given a correction of hardly given a correction of 8 to 10 rupees, and in fact today we have seen a almost a new high in the Axis Bank counter. Axis Bank is looking very good compared to ICICI Bank. If I compare both the stock, and if I want to select one stock in which I should initiate a long position, I think Axis Bank would be the one counter in where I would initiate a long position for the targets of 520, and in ICICI Bank I would wait for lower levels to initiate a long position.
Imami was 2% up today, was up 5%, yesterday was up 6% before that. 3 days of continuous gains.
Well, in ICICI Bank?
Imami Limited.
Okay, see Imami, yeah, the stock has given a good up move, and in fact in last 3 days we have seen that the stock has given a move of almost a move of around 150 rupees. That means from the levels of 960 we have seen levels of around 1110. I think immediately the stock has some resistance at around 1120, 1125 levels. A fresh long in the counter should be initiated only if stock is able to break 1125 or to be very precise 1130, 1130 levels. If the stock is able to break 1130 on closing basis, then only a fresh long should be initiated in the counter, else it's better to avoid the fresh long positions. And if anyone who has initiated long position in the counter at lower levels, they can hold on their positions with a trailing SL to be placed at 1080 rupees. 1080 should be the trailing SL for the immediate target of 1125, 1130 levels. And if a breakout is seen above 1130, then there is a possibility that we might see extended rally till 1200 levels.
Right. How would you look at United Spirits? Again, that's a name in the consumer pack that has done very well.
You're talking about United Spirits?
Yeah.
I think the stock is stock has made a double bottom pattern at 20 to 50 levels, and from there we have seen a good up move from lower levels, and today also the stock was up by almost 80 rupees. I think we can see some more upside rally from present levels, and in this rally there is a possibility that we might see levels of around 2750, 2770. The overall trend in this stock would be clear once if the stock is able to break the levels of 2770 on closing basis. I think for a small upside move of 100 rupees from present levels can be seen in next 3 to 4 days time horizon. So if anyone wants to initiate a long position at 2620, 2630 levels, then they have to maintain a stop loss of around 2570 on lower side for the upside target of 2750, 2770.
Right, Sumit. Thank you so much for taking out time for us. Always a pleasure.